And talking about CPEC, it is one and only official training unit of KU. It has been organizing and conducting various community-based, need-based, continuous professional developing programs, cert trainings, and cert courses, engaged on research and innovations, and also organizing the webinars like we are doing today for educational professionals. In addition, I'm also delighted to announce that CPEC has formally and officially extended its reach to province number one. So now we have CPEC Biratnagar Unit Office at Aspire College, which is a partnership college of Kathmandu University located at Biratnagar. Now we have begun our service from Biratnagar as well. So today we have a distinguished speaker who has an expert in who is an expert in enhancing life skills in children, and we are excited to learn from her insights. And now let's welcome Dr. Swaroop Rawal with a round of applause. Welcome, ma'am, and thank you for joining us today.
Hello. Hello.
Before
Namaste.
we Namaste. Before we dive into presentation, I'd like to take a moment to introduce briefly about Dr. Rawal. Dr. Rawal is a beauty queen. She won the beauty pageant Miss India in 1979, and she has been the actor as the beloved Renu in the iconic comedy serial Ye Jo Hai Zindagi. Boasts not only a dazzling entertainment career but also an extraordinary academic achievements. She holds a Doctor of Letters and a PhD in Education from the prestigious University of Worcester, United Kingdom. Her groundbreaking research focuses on harnessing the power of drama to enhance life skills in children with specific learning disabilities, making remarkable contributions to the field of education. Dr. Rawal plays a pivotal role in shaping educational policies, serving on Central Advisory Board of Education and the National Mission for Mentoring. Her leadership extends to chairing the curricular area group on innovative pedagogy and contributing to position papers for national curriculum frameworks. She was instrumental in developing four-year BA, BEd art teachers curriculum. As an accomplished author of academic papers and books, including titles like Play, Practice, Pursue, Learning Disability in a Nutshell, and The Life Skills Education Through Drama, Dr. Rawal's work has left an indelible mark on education. Her excellence extends to her recognition as top 10 teacher for the Global Teacher Prize in 2019, cementing her legacy as a true luminary in the field. We are honored to have her as our keynote speaker today. Before moving to the session, let me give you a brief overview of what we expect in today's webinar. First of all, there will be the presentation by Dr. Rawal focusing on art of enhancing life skills in classroom. At last, we will have 10 minutes for question and answer sessions. We encourage you to actively participate by asking questions through the chat or question and answer sessions at the end. Now, without further ado, I would like to hand over the floor to Dr. Rawal. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. And first, I would like to thank Bal and Parvati for inviting me for this lovely thing. And I'm so happy to be for talking to teachers and about my favorite subject. So my apologies for being late. It's really funny. And thank you, Bal, for calling me and seeing that I get online. So let's start. There's so much confusion, but let's start. And I am just so excited to be here. I just want to tell you, Bal, again, that Nepal is my most favorite place, and so is Kathmandu. I just love it, and I have to keep on inviting me there. Online is not good. Next time you have to call me there, because that gives me an excuse to come to your beautiful country.
Sure. No problem. We'll invite next in our next conference, probably in 2026. Yeah.
Sure, definitely, and I will be there. Okay, now I just need to figure out how to share this thing. So this is on Google, and
there is a present now button down there.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I
It,
have to go into. Shall I go through entire screen and do it?
you can
Because
do, yeah, no, window would be
okay,
better.
window. Okay, window.
In you must have opened your PowerPoint slide or whatever that is, and then from there you can click, you
Okay,
know.
okay. Just tell me if the share has come up. Has this come?
Yes, yes,
Yes.
yes, yes. It
Okay.
came up. Yes.
And you
Oh,
can hear the sound, right?
now it disappeared again. Would you please share again? I think
Oh,
you click on something else. It came up, but it disappeared.
okay. Um, mm-mm. I'm sorry, friends, I have this great problem when I'm working with Google.
Okay,
Just bear with me.
no problem.
And
That's okay. That's okay.
yeah,
That's okay.
and it's so exciting to be, it's so exciting to share stuff, you know. Yeah,
Okay.
I think this is going to share now. You
Yes.
can see it, right?
Yeah, it is coming. Yes. Yeah, it came.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Okay, I think it's done. Now you can start.
So, friends, this is life skills for me. It's in a very short version. I want to tell you this is what life skills is. Life skills is about never giving up. Life skills is about thinking. Life skills about creative thinking, critical thinking, problem solving, decision making. It's so important, you know, life skills. I don't think we can ever survive without life skills. And the better our life skills are, it is so good for us. So, not only, you know, as teachers, we think we need to enhance the life skills of our students, but I think it's a win win because we need our life skills to be enhanced. And when our life skills are enhanced, our students' life skills are enhanced. And as we enhance our students' life skills, our life skills get enhanced. Now I'm going to start my presentation, and I've decided I'm keeping just one all through so I don't have the problem of um, 1 minute of going on and off continuously because of my problem of trying to share.
Is there like is this slide or you have did
Right.
you? Yeah, I think or
Yes.
you. Yeah, is it?
Yeah. Yeah. You're saying something?
So are you having you are you having a problem in sharing?
I mean, it's just you can't see this, right?
Yeah, now we are start. Yeah, we can see now.
Oh, you
Yes,
can. Yay.
yes.
Okay. So,
Now you
yeah,
can click one thing, Swaroop. May I
yes,
suggest you in the slide you can click on
full
this
screen.
open book icon. That would be
Yes.
very helpful.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Yes, this is better.
So I'm going to be talking of drama in education to enhance life skills, but that's because I'm a drama teacher. But when I'm talking of drama in education, we need to understand that drama in education is a very, very good experiential way of learning. So let's start with this. I was a life skill teacher, but I was there in New York in 9/11 when the Twin Towers fell, and that's when my whole effort redoubled. Um, this is a page from my PhD, but I'm going to read it out to you. I'm going to tell you about it, not read it to you. You know, I was there when the Twin Towers crashed, and it was such a horrifying sight. And I was away from my home, and I went back to the hotel, and I sat down and I listened to the news, and the news was talking about how everything is closed, and they were showing these pictures of the suit rising, and it was like these Hollywood disaster movies that we go to. It was like that. And everybody was running, everybody was crying, everything was closed, and the announcer kept on saying that everything is closed except one institutions. All the schools will be open tomorrow when the supervisors and the principals will meet, and they will sit and discuss how to help the children recover from the trauma of today. And I thought, nobody does this for the children of my country. And I'm sure when you hear me talking, we think nobody does that for the children in Nepal. Because I think India and Nepal are nearly one. And, because of the way we are and the way problems we have, the challenges we face, and of course the beauty, but still, I'm going to talk of the challenges today. And I thought, nobody talks about mental health of children, and I have to do something about this. So when I came back, I started, thinking about the mental health and life skill. Now, these are the universal figures that I'm be talking of. Half of all mental illness begins at the age of 14. If untreated, these conditions severely influence children's development, their educational attainment, and their potential to lead a fulfilling, productive life. Children with mental health disorders face so many challenges and stigmas, and we really need to do something about it. And as things go, it's actually becoming worse. In younger the age, they're having a lot of mental health problems. I was studying about it, and I saw that even young as 7 and 8, they have mental health problems and suffer from this depression. We really need to do something about this. Mental health is defined as the state of well being in which every individual realizes his or her potential and cope with normal stresses of life, normal, and can work productively and fruitfully, and is able to communicate to his or her community. It is so important, a state of well being. Physical well-being is what we think about. We got a cough, we got a stomach ache, our legs are hurting. But do we think about this problem when we are having a mental health pain? Life skills. Life skills are defined as psychosocial abilities for adaptive and positive behavior that enable individuals to deal effectively with the demands and challenges of everyday life. Why am I giving you this definition? Because sometimes this definition is mistaken with um, livelihood skills. Now, what are livelihood skills? I face that so often when I say I'm a life skill teacher or a life skill educator. There will be people who will go, oh, you must teach them how to make tea and how to work in the kitchen, and you must teach them banking. And I say, but that is not life skills. Those are livelihood skills, like, going to the bank, making money, working. I'm not saying livelihood skills are not right, but life skills are psychosocial abilities with cognitive abilities. Why am I stressing on life skills? It's become a big fashion to talk of social emotional learning, and it's, the 21st century skills, but there are nothing like that. There is nothing like a 21st century skill because they're all different. Now, social emotional learning is important, but you're missing out the cognitive ability which is there in the life skills. So, life skills is definitely the name I go with and I would like to go with. This is what I talked about, 21st century skills. Just think of them for 1 minute for me. What are the 21st century skills? There's everybody's list is different. Then there is a word like soft skills, so social emotional learning. And when they made social emotional learning, they realized that they forgot the cognitive ability. So they added collaborative for academic social emotional learning. What does this mean? Why are you fighting against a lovely name and a simple name like life skills? There are broad categories of life skill, and they are thinking skills, social skills, and emotional skills. Now, as your teachers and in working in institutions, I want to talk about this. There are lots of people who do small workshops of life skill education. Okay, we shall teach you life skills. And then they do a short course. But that's good because you can understand what life skills are. Maybe you can have a change of attitude. But when it's a 1 year, which is a middle range one, it assists positive behavior, intentions. It improves your psychosocial competence. But when we do it for 2, 3, 4, 5 years, there's a significant change in mental health and social behavior. So you understand what I'm trying to say. We as teachers should request schools to start life skill education from preschool. That is, you start from nursery, kindergarten, and go all the way up to post graduation and beyond. Yes, definitely. I teach at Sardar Patel University, and I teach students in Masters in Social Work life skills. You just have to see the tremendous change it makes for our young adults, because at every stage you need social emotional health, you need to have cognitive and thinking abilities. Now there is a question of whether we should integrate it or let it stand alone. I think that we should have a stand-alone program dedicated as a training package, because it gets mixed up. Like they say, okay, we shall do integrate life skills with literature, and then the teacher just forgets about it in the middle of the class. So instead, if we have a dedicated class and all we need is one lesson per week of life skills, and you will see the tremendous change. So this is another thing I would request. I am literally begging my country, the education ministry and the education department, to include this one lesson once a week. That's all I'm asking for. So many lessons in a week are just ruined when we are not doing anything. Why not do a dedicated life skill lesson? Now, I'm going to be talking of drama in education. because it's such a beautiful way of teaching. It's an experiential way of teaching, and it is shaped on one philosophy of mine which says art is action, reflection, transformation. And that's what we want to go for. We want to go for the transformation of our children, of our youth, and even help our adults. So this works for everybody. It's a great way of working because it's experiential. You just act out scenes, you talk, you do games, and you do so much learning because when you do the action and you do reflection, there's a lot of transformation. Drama comes from the Greek word to live through. And that's what we're going to be using today and when I use it in the classroom. So it's not about a finished product. Of course, a finished product is always important. But this is about the process. So when we live through the process of doing a play, the children and adolescents have great learning. What is education? Because when I said drama in education, let's understand what education is. We need to understand that the mind is not a blank slate. From the time the children, what it means is that from the time a child is born, the child is learning. There are things that are coming on to the child, like people are talking to the child is, forming ideas, forming images and things like that. But it needs awakening. And this awakening is so nice. I'm quoting Vivekanand, but awakening is a beautiful word even Maxine Green uses when we say you need a reawakening. Of course, I'm awake, but we need to reawake and look at the world with a new eye. So it needs awakening. Education is not the amount of information that's put in your brain and runs riot undigested all your life. We need to have life building, man making, character making, assimilation of ideas. Education is a process of helping people find necessary meaning in their life, and it involves both teaching and learning. Now, what are the characteristics of drama in education? This is what I want to tell you because, when I talk of let's do drama, for 1 minute, just write down what do you think of when I say drama. I know when I say drama, you think of a play, you think of costumes, you think of dialogues, you think of, but all that is not what drama in education is about. Drama in education is about doing through an activity, actually doing something, getting the experience of doing something. Problem clarification in a group, discovering hidden meaning through self-experience. These are the wonderful things that happen to you through drama in education. Education in arts, because you would have guessed that I'm going to be talking about arts when I said the art of life skill education. Education in art involves students intellectually, emotionally, socially, and physically. Learning through arts fosters cognitive, emotional, sensory, motor capacities. You understand this, it's so wonderful because it's compared to the idea of giving a lecture. Now, if I'm giving you a lecture, you're sitting and you're listening. So what are the sensory capacities you're using? An ability to sit, a physical one, and the one of hearing. That's it. But if I ask you to get up and do an activity and think what you're going to be doing and, listen to music and do a little dance and everything, Now, just think of all the different capacities that you would be using when you're doing arts. So, arts is a great way of learning, and I would definitely suggest it for everything, not only life skill education. So, drama is about role play, acting as if you were someone else, using a story, using space, movement, and of course, the most important thing for me always is reflection. Now, the first one, the first life skill I'm going to be talking about is understanding and managing emotions. Now, the reason I'm talking about these, I will just show it to you slowly. I will just show you the whole list I'm going to be talking about. Is I was trying to understand where to start. You see, there is no life skill curriculum. There are ad hoc programs and there are things like core life skills. But as a teacher, I wanted to understand where to start with. So, what I did was I broke up the basic life skills and tried to see what they are about, like understanding emotion is all about emotions, obviously. Recognizing, understanding self, making decision, critical thinking, communication skills. Yes, communication skills when I'm trying to explain what my emotion to you is. So we've used communication skills in that. In self awareness, we use understanding emotions, creative thinking, critical thinking. In empathy, we have emotions. In communication, it's about one of it is about explaining my emotion to you. So I decided that I would start with emotions. Understanding and managing emotions is the beginning of my life skill program. And emotions, they're feelings when we experience joy, hate, anger. They are a complex state that result in a physical and psychological change and a physiological change in our body, and they influence our thoughts and behavior. What are the key components of emotions? They're subjective, they're physiological, and they're behavioral. Isn't that right? Subjective is we all feel different emotions. Right now, if I asked you, what are you feeling? Just write it down. There's a lot of different type of feelings that you have. For example, when I was being late, there were so many people with different emotions. You know, they could be upset, they could be a little bit of anger, they could be irritation, and for me, it was like panic. I have to be there because I promised to be there and I cannot be so irresponsible. So we all feel different emotions. Now, the physiological at that time would be different, like the way we sit, the way we tense up, like when, when you're angry, what do you do? Or, when you're stressed out, sometimes I poke my nails into my hand and, like just, I'm so angry, And then another thing that happens when you're angry is, your face becomes red or some people start sweating. So there are different type of reactions our body has for emotions. How we express it is different. Some people can, express it, a bigger smile, a smaller smile. Some people are quiet, but there is always some expression of your emotion. Now, why emotions? Because an emotionally competent person has so many different advantages. You can know your emotions, you can understand other people's emotions, you know how to communicate emotions properly, good at empathy, you follow culturally accepted rules. This is something that's so important. Each of our cultures have different rules of displaying feelings, and they are different. So, and the best is that we can manage unpleasant emotions when they're strong, when they're short, when they're for a long time. So let's start this. I'm going to play a little game with you all, okay? Just make a list of emotions. Just think and write down the name of emotions you know. I shall give you 1 minute by my timer, and your time starts now. Write down the names of all the emotions you know. Think. Try to make a long list. When I ask my students to make a list, especially the young ones, the youngest ones, they just have three emotions: happy, sad, and angry, or happy, sad, and jealous. When I ask slightly older, then they do come up with maybe four, five, six. Okay, great. That's great. Now, why am I asking you to write down the name of emotions? It is like supposing Balchandra sir said that today a lady is going to do a workshop with us. And you would think, sure, so you can imagine there'll be so many different ladies that you know, and one woman is going to come to do a workshop. Then you would say, he would say that a woman from India is going to come. So now that gets narrowed, and you think of a lot of different women from India would be doing it. But supposing he says that Dr. Swaroop Rawal is going to do it, then you have a picture of Dr. Swaroop Rawal, and she would be doing it. So now you understand that person is going to do a workshop. And that's why we need to understand the name of emotions. When I'm giving this example in India, I always give it with our famous cricketer, Sachin Tendulkar. So if somebody, I saw a cricketer at the airport, and it could be just anybody. And then I say, I saw an Indian cricketer. And then you narrow down to, oh, was it Virat Kohli? Was it Lakshman? Was it Rahul? Was it? And then I say, no, I saw Sachin Tendulkar. And then immediately everybody understands who Sachin Tendulkar is and who I met at the airport. So that's what it means. When you name an emotion, it's important to know an emotion. Now, why is it important to know names of different emotions? Because we need to understand exactly what we are feeling. How would knowing their names help us? It would help us identify exactly who we know. So, how can we make a large list of emotions? Now, I'm going to take you through my class. One of the first things I do is I tell them to draw emoticons, which is so wonderful. But when I was studying in 2000, we did not have so many emoticons. We only had this beautiful chart. And I gave all my students this chart to put up in their house. And I would tell them, how are you feeling today? Go and check it. Another thing I did is I put a chart in my classroom, and I would ask my students, how are you feeling today? So they would come up with try to come up with good names. And that's a practice because there are different variations to one emotion. Uh, okay, since I'm here, I want you to guess how many emotions we can experience. Just write down the number. And then when I put off this sharing at the end, when we are talking, you will tell me exactly how many you said, and I will tell you how many they are. Then I did this beautiful activity of making masks. And this activity is a very lovely activity and it's very simple and it's not expensive. You see, because sometimes we don't even have enough funds. So this is just done with normal paper plates, you know, the ordinary kind. And on the back of the paper plates, I asked them to do emotions. And then, you know, we wore it as masks to express what we are feeling. As you would know, reflection is a very, very important part of my life skill program. I would ask them to make a list. So like they started with the list and then they would add names to the list as soon as they knew. Then I allowed them to draw any emotion they thought of and, put up pictures like emoticons and all in their diary. This was just so that you got used to telling exactly what you feel. Can you see this? They would cut out pictures and they would stick it. Now here I want to just check if I have that. Yeah. Um, this is teachers doing the activity and these are my students doing the activity. Cutting pictures from ordinary newspapers and magazines and all. Now I'm going to keep it at this picture. And tell you a story. One day, one of my students came to me and she said, I'm livid. And I said, what? She says, I'm livid. I said, okay, what does it mean? So she said, it means very, 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 very angry. And livid does mean that. I said, okay, fine. But she realized that ma'am was not very happy. So she went and stuck a picture. And she said, see, ma'am, I am livid. And that's the picture I want to show you. See this. She said, we were playing cricket in the house and we broke all the things in the house. We broke the glass and stuff like that. And when father came home, when papa came home, he was livid. Do you understand? This is the difference. And you can understand the difference that he was not just upset, he was not just angry, he was livid. The other way I would do it is through walk. And I'm showing you this picture because this has worked with everybody. This is with a government school in Gujarat. These are with my Kasturba Gandhi Balika Vidyalaya students. And these students come from the most socially and economically backward communities of our country, of India. And this is a picture done in Worcester. You can see that everybody loves to do it. It's a simple activity of walking. Now I would say walk angry, walk happy, walk tall, and then they would walk. The reason I kind of invented this game was because um, everybody finds it very difficult to do drama. So I thought it would be great to
Ma'am,
introduce.
I would like
Yes,
to interrupt. We could not
sure.
see the screen shared by you.
Oh, you can't see it now?
Yeah,
Now,
we could not see. Yes.
Can you see?
We can see. I can see.
Okay, Bal can see it.
Yeah, there might be the settings in your something in your screen, I suppose. So Swaroop is sharing, and I can see. Yeah,
Okay, so I will continue.
you need to pin the presentation. Yeah, that's
Oh, okay,
summary.
okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
double click it.
Double
Thank you.
double click it. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
good.
You don't need
Thanks.
to do anything, Swaroop. That's okay. Yeah,
Yes, I'm
please go ahead.
continuing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the first activity I told you I started was doing pictures and writing names. And then you can't just write down a name. You have to understand the meaning and write down the name. Do you get that? Otherwise, you can open a dictionary and write down names. But that was not important. Important is really learning. Then I would make them do walk. And then simple things like statues. Statues of happy, sad, astonishment. Look at this little girl, and what a beautiful statue she's made of astonished. So, a statue, a simple thing. I don't know if you all play that in Nepal, but we used to play that in India when we were little, and we would say statue, and then you had to just stop in whatever pose you were in. And that's what I've used over here. You know, start walking around and become a statue of a person who's angry, become a statue of a person who's shocked, a person who is, thinking or upset, and, they would do that. Then playing emotional songs. We all have done that. When you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. But it's a great thing because you can do it with different emotions. And when you're doing it with younger children, it's great. Now, this is something I want to share with you, which is a lovely activity, which I would make pairs, and in that pair, you have to sit and tell. Now, as you can see in this picture, that they don't have to sit together and like this, they can sit wherever they want, with whoever they want, and they have to share a story about when they were happy. Now, one person tells, then the other person has to listen, then the other person tells, and the other has to listen. So it goes on like that. Now, you do different emotions. And after you have done the emotion, you have to share. You have to share that emotion. And this is a statue the children made of emotion that they were experiencing, of caring and comforting. And this is the statue they shared because their story had an element of this. Now, I want to explain about the subjectiveness about your emotion. I'm asking all of you all who are listening to me today, write down the emotion you feel when you're at home alone. Just write down whatever it is. You're in your home alone. Okay? Now, I will tell you what this whole thing is about. Uvi said she is afraid, Lali said she is happy, Sarla said she is lonely, Amit said he is scared, Samir said he is bored, and Hema said she is pleased. All of them are correct. So I asked Uvi, why are you afraid when you are in your own home? She said, miss, it's raining and thunderstorm, and I'm all alone. My parents haven't come home, and I'm very afraid. Lali said she's happy because when she's at home alone, she can do whatever she wants and she can get to watch a lot of television. Sarla, who doesn't like to watch television, feels very lonely. Amit is scared. Samir is bored because he says if no one's at home, I just don't know what to do and I'm very bored. Hema said she's very pleased because she is an elder daughter and she has to help in the house. So she says, I'm very happy when nobody is there. I can just put my legs up and take the remote in my hand and watch whatever I want. So you see, everybody is at home alone, but they have different feelings, and all of them are correct. So you can't say it's wrong to be afraid or be too happy, or you can't say, oh, you're so mean. How can you feel happy when you're alone at home? No, you can. There are different feelings, and each feeling is subjective. This is another one. Sorry, this is in Gujarati, but I will read it for you. So, everybody experiences a different emotion in a situation. Like when I said, we have this festival called Uttarayan where we fly kites. So I asked in Gujarat, that is very, very popular. So I asked, what do you feel when Uttarayan comes? And one of them said she feels sad. And I said, what? Why do you feel sad? So she said, when Uttarayan comes and the kites are flying in the sky, a lot of birds get tangled up in the manja, in the thread. And that is really sad. I feel very sad. So one, of course, all of them said happy and they said excited and all that. But you see, that girl felt sad and she is right. This is a situation where the girl, it's just a play, where this girl is getting married and she's going to be leaving the house, and all the people in the wedding are experiencing different emotions. Happy. So making statues is a very, very important part of my life skill program in the beginning when we are doing statues. Now, this is a statue I want to share with all the different emotions all these girls are feeling, and you can see the different um, artwork they have done. Different drama games, like we would play. Again, this is a picture in Worcester where we play different games of, passing the emotion. And, it's nice to make a whole lot of different drama games. So, like we'd say, okay, Simon says, look happy, and everybody looks happy. And then you ask questions like, what makes you feel happy? And then you slowly start realizing the situations of your feelings. This is such a lovely thing. We have Raksha Bandhan in India where the sister ties Rakhi to the brother, and these girls made these Rakhis to share. And this is a toran which they put up on the door. So, writing acrostic poems. I would like you to do it if you can do it right now. Think of a word and then write along with it. Think of a simple word like love. Love is for the way you look at me. O is the only one I see. B is a very, very extraordinary. E is even more than anybody. Or frightening, fear, frightening, electric, lightning, alarming, raining. It's just a simple thing. Teachers, you can write down how to do it and then maybe do it later on. It's a very nice variation and it's a simple way of writing poems. Different games. You see, why different games? You would say, ma'am, you're just going on with so many games, different ones to understand it. The reason is that everybody gets bored of doing one thing. So, writing reflections is what you do every day, but different ways. And this is one called artist and clay, where the artist molds a person. So you make the person feel happy, you feel sad, and you can see how these children are doing this activity. Now, can emotions change? This is a very, very important thing which we need to teach our students. Can emotions change? Do you know why we need to teach this? We need to understand that the state you are in is not a permanent state. It can change. And if you are sad now, you will be happy tomorrow. Sometimes you need to understand if you're just happy now, tomorrow it could be a sad day. But you need to understand and manage all your emotions. And understanding that emotions change is a very, very important part of having to deal with severe emotions like depression and feeling scared and stuff like that. Even anger. Then making statues in larger groups. And I specially have kept this picture for you because this is talking about a very severe emotion called grief. Now, we need to understand that there are various emotions and we really need to understand all kind. And when we are talking of grief, it is extreme sadness because somebody has died. Now, what is the beauty of this? The beauty of this is that you can do it in the classroom where all your students are protected by you. And when they're doing severe emotions, you can help them get out of it too. So this is a picture of reflective writing, and all children of all classes have done it. I would definitely suggest you start doing it. This is something I want to talk about. Overuse, masking a real feeling, and exaggeration and minimization. Overuse, now there's a fashion. Oh, I love this. I love that. And love is so badly used. It's like, I love my dog. I love color. I love pink. I love ribbon. I love mother. I love chips. Now, what you like, color pink, is equal to what you love, my mother? No. You should find different words for love and not, and use when I was in school, my teacher would tell me, don't use the word nice because we use nice for everything and it really doesn't mean anything then. Like the word hate. Oh, I hate drinking coffee. I hate the traffic. I hate you. We overuse the word, so when the real hate comes, we don't do it. Words like, I'm feeling fine, it's okay, I'm feeling fine. We are masking our emotion, and that's not correct because the person doesn't understand what you're feeling. Like exaggerating. Oh, I'm feeling crushed. I'm totally disseminated. Really? What happened? I'm crushed that the teacher thought, my presentation was not good. Are you decimated because of that? Are you never going to revive? Hello? Please? I'm so crushed. I could not have my breakfast. What a silly word to use for something so small. The other thing is we minimize our expression, and that is bad too. Oh, I'm all right. I'm fine. No, please say the exact emotion. Things like modifiers are very good, but this is what I want to tell you about. Sorry, gloomy, unhappy, sad, miserable, grief. Do you see this? I am sorry that I heard, that. Okay, I'm going to tell you. I'm wearing a very, very old kurta and it tears. I'm feeling sorry. The weather is not so good. I'm feeling gloomy. I am unhappy because you haven't done your homework. I was wearing a very nice kurta, which is new, and it tore. I'm really sad. My Neighbor's cat, who I like very much, died and I'm feeling miserable. My grandmother expired and I'm in grief. Now you understand the difference. You cannot say that my grandmother died and I'm unhappy. Oh, you should be in very sad things because your grandmother's died and she's gone and you're never going to see her again. You can't be sorry. You would be in grief. And if you're in grief, everybody would really understand that something really sad has happened to you. Something that's very, 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 very sad. I made more lists for you to see. Irritated, annoyed, angry, furious, livid. Grumpy, grouchy, annoyed, agitated, irritated, aggravated. Alarmed, shocked, afraid, frightened, horrified, terrified, panic, hysteria, mortified. So, this is what we need to do. This is what I'm trying to tell you, that we need to have a huge lexicon of emotions. But this is a beautiful line my student wrote, that feelings cannot be stopped because we don't stop learning. So this is a part of my life skill lessons, and I want to tell you a little bit more. So I'm going to stop sharing this. Stop sharing this. Okay. And Bal, we still have a lot of time, don't we?
We have 20 minutes. I think there might be, discussions.
So I will give you, I will do another presentation. And
Pritika
or do
Ji,
you
I
want to
think
have
you can.
questions? Yes.
Yeah, they should have questions. Yeah, they
Yeah,
should.
we can do questions and we can talk a lot more, and then maybe I can, do some more. So
Yeah,
do you want to ask questions?
I think the Pritika Ji,
Yes,
I
yes,
think.
sir. Yes, sir. I think ma'am said that she wants another presentation. Would you like to?
Would you
Or
like that, or would you like me to start the questions, Pritika?
Question answer would be better.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
would be
think
better?
so,
Okay,
yes.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, ma'am, for the enlightening presentations. We are truly grateful for the valuable information and experiences you have shared with us today. And yes, you have shared the importance of addressing psychosocial issues among our childrens, among our students as well. So you have also emphasized the way how we can overcome those issues by integrating dramas in education, how we engage the students to express their emotions, daily life emotions. So I myself have one question. I would like to ask that, and I would like to go through others as well. So
Yes.
when we talk about emotions, there are a lot of kinds of students. So how can, as a teachers, we create an environment where we can make them express their emotions freely in the classrooms?
You know, I have found this, that it's not about an age, it's about everybody. Unless your life skills are good, you do not express your emotions well. Sometimes you're scared to express them, sometimes you don't know how to do it. And that's why I said that, we need to start teaching this in schools, because if you start learning through drama and games and arts, and through the life skill lesson, how to express your emotions, how to manage them, it's good, because emotions is not only about what you're feeling. Emotions is about sharing, and it's about communication. Communication, like I said, is not only about talking, it's about getting an idea expressed, it's about your feelings, it's about understanding what another person is feeling. And that's how relationships are built. So, if today I am angry and I'm like, okay, you would not know what's happening and why I am behaving like this. But if I said, listen, I'm very angry. Now we think that expressing is only through face, but it's even through words. Now, that is why I wanted you all to understand that we need to build a huge, long lexicon of words, of emotions. So, and we keep on practicing it. That is one thing I completely forgot to tell you in the presentation is that life skills have to be practiced. You see, they are skills. So, if you keep on practicing them, you become better at it. Like all of you all know that as we are teachers, think of the first class we taught. We were not so good. But when we go on trying and work on our skill as a teacher, and then we go on practicing and we go on doing presentations and thinking of new ideas, we become better teachers. So that's the same thing for life skills. You need to go on practicing them. And I seriously, seriously think that we should go on teaching life skills from little to big because then you're practicing it every day. Did you understand that, Pritika? Does it answer your question?
Yes, ma'am, sure. Thank you, ma'am.
One question
Yes,
is,
Bhalchandraji. Yes.
my question is something like, because you have been working with teachers, far and wide in India, across India, and
Yes.
in other parts of the world. What do you think is the challenge for teachers to go beyond the curriculum? Because the content curriculum would not allow them to integrate.
Exactly. You're so right, Bal. You're so
So,
right. And
what
I think,
what is the major, what would be the major, and how can we help them? For example, science teachers, math teachers, the subject teachers, they don't really, they don't see these things happening. For example, not counting the emotions and doing their teaching, like transferring the content but not connecting with his students. So what is your comment on this one?
yes, so there are two ways we can do it. And I think we, Balchandraji, we are who are at a position where we are doing a lot of teacher training or we are, running institutions where we are doing teacher training. We should definitely try to help the teachers. So one thing I would suggest is that teachers learn life skills separately and then we can integrate them into the lessons because there's never enough time, and this is the problem not only you face, even we face in India, because I think our countries are so similar. We have to finish the textbook, we have to finish this course. Now where is the time to do an art, for example? But supposing you taught it through art and then did the theory, it would be the theory would definitely stay in the mind. It's a mindset. Like even now, just yesterday we had this national level conference because, as you know, we've got the new education policy. And I am the chairperson of the group that's writing innovative education. And I was talking to the science teachers, and the science teacher says, we don't have time to do art. We don't think art can teach science. This is a mindset which has to be changed. And I believe we need to change it when we're doing teacher training. Another thing is this in service training, you're doing teacher training for in service teachers, like presently. That is a great thing. This change will come, it will come slowly, but we have to do it. So each teacher has to decide that no, I will add a bit of art integrated work. I will add a bit of innovative learning. We have now started doing project learning and activity based learning. But we need to take our children out of the class. We really need to do this. And Bal, I feel very strongly for this because I don't want our children, your children, and my children. When I talk of our children, I don't want them to use international programs. I want them to use our government programs. I'll tell you why, Bal. It's a very close thing to my heart. Our children are losing our culture. You know, we have a shocking thing like the international schools in India, and the children are doing the history of foreign countries and not of India. Don't you think the children need to do the history of Nepal? I have been to Nepal, and you know how much I love the country because of the huge culture. If we don't use our arts and all that in our classroom, and use it to teach our beautiful history, to teach our beautiful culture, our children are going to lose it. I don't want that to happen. So we need to do it. And that's why, Bal, when you said come and talk, I'm ready to talk. I'm
Yeah.
ready. If I can convert two teachers today, two teachers from Nepal. If two teachers from Nepal start using art today, I'm going to be a very happy person.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. So next question probably there is.
Yes, we have some questions in chat box as well.
Yeah.
It's like Sunita Lama. I think she expressed her view like while we are acknowledging and finding ways to help students with difficult and heavy emotions, there are few students faking emotions as manipulations and using the fake emotions as an excuse not to study. I think so.
Yes, definitely. And that's when we need to catch them. You see, if we have learned about emotions, we should be able to catch students. Teachers, I want to start what would I call it? A movement in India. And I think you all should start it too. Our countries don't have enough psychologists, counselors, psychiatrists to help with all this. So what I'm starting in my country is a counselor, one counselor in each classroom. Bal, think about this. Each life skill teacher is a counselor, and we would have in each classroom one counselor, and that counselor can help children, faking emotion. Even when they're experiencing some problem, they're faking emotion. When they're experiencing some problem, they're angry. When they're rebelling, these are mental health problems. Maybe they're tiny, but all of them are needing. When a child is bullying, we just want to pounce on that, but do we understand that that child is probably being bullied somewhere else? Maybe he's being abused at home and he needs help. So, just imagine this beautiful thing, a counselor in each classroom.
Yes, that's a
There
great
is Surya
idea.
Prasad ji who's raised a hand.
Yes, Surya sir, Surya Prasad sir, please,
Uh,
the floor is yours.
thank you very much. Good morning to everybody,
Good
respected Dean
morning.
Sir, madams, and all educators. My question is how drama can be developed into teachers' identity?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand your question.
How drama can be developed into teachers' identity?
Means it should become a tool a teacher should use. Is that what
How
you're
Yes.
asking
we
me?
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
we can
Yes.
enhance the competency level of teachers,
Yes, I will
including
tell you.
drama in TPD, teachers'
Okay,
professional
I
development.
will tell you that. One of the things is that we actually do teacher training programs to teach drama or arts to teach. I will tell you my story is that I started as a special educator and I was using drama because I was from theater, but I did not know how to do it. So I went to Worcester to learn because England is very famous for this. There is this beautiful book author which you all should read, maybe her papers or about her. Her name is Dorothy Heathcote, and she started this wonderful way of teaching through drama. And she did not teach life skills, but she taught subjects. Now, if you're doing literature and you do the whole play of literature through, drama, after you have read it, the children are going to remember that whole literature forever. Do you understand? Sometimes, like when I told you, if you're listening to me today, you're sitting and listening. And sometimes you can just zone out. But if you're doing a workshop, like, when I came to your beautiful university and I did a workshop over there, then people are doing things. So there's no ways they can zone out, what the new children call it, and go into some other world. So this is Surya Prasad ji. I think that we should do a lot of teacher training, for drama and how to use it. But it's very easy. If you start applying your mind to it, you can easily do it. Um, I can only offer to come to teach or maybe do more workshops. I can do it if you want, Bal, for you definitely. If you all want to do workshops in how to use drama to teach, I would do it for the your university and your institution. But other people can do it too, and we can do it online and we can do it offline, anything. But I think we just need to learn, and when you learn, then you start applying it. Surya Prasad ji, what is the best thing is once you get success, you keep on wanting to do more. And I guarantee you use it once you get success and then you're hooked. I hope that answers your question.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you, ma'am. There are two more questions. One from Gunaraj sir. Emotions are not stable. As you said, if emotion is about understanding others, how would you differentiate emotions and empathy?
Okay, that's a beautiful question, because there are so many life skills. I just even didn't manage to get to all of them. So first, I will tell you the life skills that I work with, and I'll tell you the core life skills of WHO. They're coping with emotion, coping with stress, self-awareness, empathy, communication skills, problem solving, decision making, creative thinking, and critical thinking. But you know what? I thought that, we are a very different set of countries and we have such beautiful culture. First, I changed self awareness because in India we have this beautiful thing which you all have too, is called Atma Chintan, looking deep into you. It's there in Hinduism, it's there in Buddhism, it's there in all our culture. That you look deep into you, you go into mindfulness. So I did not want to limit my children to just self awareness. So I changed my program to understanding self. Now there is another one where coping is a positive word and coping is a negative word. When you're coping with stress and you're smoking, you're abusing drugs, you're abusing alcohol, you're coping with emotion. And that's wrong. So I changed mine to understanding and managing emotions. Now, to answer your question, empathy. Empathy is understanding somebody's emotion, feeling that emotion, and communicating to that person that I understand your emotion and I will help you. Do you get it? The whole thing is empathy is not just understanding another person's emotion. It is feeling that emotion, communicating that I understand, and then doing something about it. Whereas feeling an emotion or understanding an emotion is just, oh, I understand what your emotion is. And it stops there. Do you understand? Empathy goes on to another level. And I think empathy is one of the most beautiful life skills. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. Two more questions, I think.
Sure.
One from Binita ma'am. Dear Swaroop, working in life skills education at Room to Read for a year, I wonder how we can practice more. We do reflect life skill learning at mentoring sessions as well. There are around 16 sessions of around 50 minutes each. Two sessions are
Yes.
provided per month. However, sometimes I found that adolescent girls understand the content, however, they forget to implement in their life. How would you suggest to motivate these adolescents to practice more?
That's a nice question. Remember, I said that life skills are skills and you need to practice them. So that's why you need a long term program. where you keep on coming and practicing life skills. So I would suggest you, even if you're doing it 2 times in a month, you continue doing it for a longer time. When these children have done it for 2 3 years, they will get into it and they will understand it. Now, I know you would say that, how do I catch them for so long? But then this is how we are made. This is how human beings are. You do a short program, you will understand it. I keep saying that. Like, you go to a yoga class and you say, wow, this is great. I'm going to do yoga every day. And then, I get up in the morning and do yoga. And one day, a Saturday night, I have a late night and it's Sunday and I say, oh, forget it. I'm not doing it today. Then Sunday, you get up and Monday you have to go to work and you say, I'm very late, I'll do it later on, and you forget about it. Then 3 4 days go and then you forget about yoga. Now, there is another scenario where you do it for a short time and then you go on a holiday for 1 month. Obviously, in the holiday, you're not doing yoga. And then when you come back, the holiday whole happiness is there and you forget to do yoga forever. Now, imagine a scenario where you're doing yoga for every day for 2 3 years and you go for a holiday and you don't do yoga. But the minute you come back, you think something's missing in your life at home and you say, yeah, yoga, and you start it again. And then you get back. This is how it is. If you do a short-term course, you're charged up, but the first opportunity you forget and then it's lost. You do a short-term program, you do it. But again, if there's a big break in between, or like in life skills, if there's a huge emotional problem which you cannot face, then you've forgotten about life skills and got over. But if you go on doing it for 2 3 4 years, then it works very well. That's why I suggest we do life skills in schools, because then we've got our students with us at least for. Do you all have a 10-year program or a 12-year program for school, Pritika?
It's 12 and a
Yeah,
half.
yeah. So you have the students from 1 to 12. 12 years, if you teach them life skills, they're going to be life skill experts. Does that answer your question? Okay, thank you. Now the next one, Pritika. Thank you, Benita. And for all of y'all, if you want, my PhD is on the internet. You can read it. It's on actionresearch.net. I will find it for you and put it in the chat. Okay?
There is one more question, I suppose, and then we are about to end.
Is it
Okay.
right?
Yeah. Delete out, there is one
Sorry,
question.
I just lost the connection. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, there is one
Sometimes
question. I think it
students,
is similar to the previous one.
Yeah.
sometimes students engage in the exaggeration of emotions to take
Yes.
excuses from their primary task, that is learning, assignments, etc.
Yeah.
In such a condition, how can we help them return to real feelings and motivate them to learn? So it's again about faking emotions.
Yeah, exactly. It's about faking emotions, and we need to understand. But this is something that we all need to understand in any case. We can't let children fake emotions. Uh, I want to say one thing. Bal, when I get into my class, I say I believe in democracy. So we all have things to talk about and we will talk. But I am the prime minister. So finally, it's my word. So you have democracy, but you need to understand that, you can't just get away with. I have put a link to my PhD.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's on
Can
the
I
net.
can I just add about faking? I think we
Yes.
all fake at some level.
Yeah. Of course, like you don't want, the reason you fake it sometimes is because you don't want them to know what you're feeling.
Yes, yes, yes,
Sometimes,
yes,
you need to
yes.
protect yourself. Like I know that, I'm a very simple person and I'm very friendly. But if I'm in a situation where, people are being very snooty, then I
Yeah,
just, I'm like, even
yeah,
I become fake, everybody does that,
yes,
But
yes.
I think as teachers, we should catch them
Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
we are teachers, we are the boss.
Yes, yes, yeah. I think we are almost at the end because we plan
Yes.
to complete by 8:30. So, Pritika ma'am, now
Yes.
you close the session. Thank you very much,
Thank
Swaroop.
thank you,
My
Bal sir.
pleasure, Bal. I'm so sorry again for the beginning.
That's okay.
Yeah.
It's
I could
okay.
call you
I
immediately.
know, thank God. And I have to tell everybody
Yeah.
this that, I keep on saying, keep on doing life skills. You're not going to believe I came home last night, 1 o'clock, because the flight was late from
Yeah.
Ahmedabad.
Sorry.
And no, no, don't be sorry. And Bal says, get up, you're going to do it. I know my life skills so well. I've been working in it since 2000.
Yeah.
You wake me up in the middle of the night, Bal, I can do a workshop for you. No
Okay, that's
problems.
okay. Okay, thank you.
Okay, now
So,
I'd like to take a moment to express our gratitude to Dr. Swaroop Rawal for graciously agreeing to share her knowledge and expertise with us today. And I would also like to extend my gratitude to Dean of School of Education, Kathmandu University, Professor Balchandra Lujal, and to all the participants for joining us. We hope you found today's webinar insightful and that you get a valuable takeaways. And if you have any further questions, you could connect us through CPEC. Thank you. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you very much.
okay,
Bye bye,
thank you,
everyone.
Swaroop,
Namaste.
Dr.
Thank
Swaroop
you.
Rahul for, okay, thank you for your,
Thanks. Bye.
yes, bye. Namaste.